Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your boy DJ Envy, Charlemagne the God, Angela Yee, and this is the Breakfast Club. Not really. It's Monday. The sun is rising. It's beautiful outside. It's a little chilly, allegedly, but you know how it goes in southern temperatures when it's cold. During spring, it's cold in the morning and then warm in the afternoon. But it's cold enough for some people that you probably end up having to wear a jacket or something like that. But then by the afternoon, it's like an air fryer on max. It's just chestnuts roasted on the open fire. But either way, how are y'all feeling today? Hopefully everybody motivated. I know generally we don't like when the weekend is over, so see a lot of that already starting today. But hopefully y'all get through that and realize another day alive is another day to thrive. That's gonna be the message today. I mean, in most cases, because I know they have some cases out there where people can feel so hopeless to where no amount of encouragement can actually change how they feel about their circumstances and things like that. But I see that I'm actually on later today than I usually would have came on because from it being Monday, it's not the weekend where things are just free balling. It's a little bit more structured during the week. But I'll go ahead and what will I do? Oh, for people who replay games, you just never know. Maybe one day, 2 years from now, someone who just stumbling upon my page might be watching this video to try to catch up. So, what I want to do is pull up an article about Katy Perry going to space to see what is going on because it's kind of confusing. I really don't pay attention to the news like that unless it's important things. Let's see. So, according to this website, comingsoon.net, I've never heard of them. Yeah, I'm gonna just back out. I'm gonna try a more reputable source, even though their information might be just as valid as other places, but it's just, you know, it would be better, especially putting it on the internet or whatever. So let's see. Okay, ABC News. Blue Origin rocket with all-female crew, including Katy Perry, set for Monday launch. So it's actually gonna launch today. 6 women, including pop star Katy Perry, are scheduled to be launched into space for about 11 minutes on Monday on the Blue Origin rocket, a liftoff that will mark the first all-female space flight since 1963. The window for the latest rocket launch is expected to open on Monday morning about 8:30 a.m. CDT, according to Blue Origin. So they're actually about to be launching soon. That's pretty good. I've dreamt of going to space for 15 years, and tomorrow that dream becomes a reality. Katy Perry said on social media, the 11th crewed New Shepard flight, which is officially called NS-31, is expected to take off from company's launch site one in West Texas. Along with Perry, the crew includes Blue Origin owner Jeff Bezos' journalist fiance Lauren Sanchez, journalist Gail King, former NASA rocket scientist Aisha Bowe, bioastronautics research scientist and civil rights activist Amanda Nguyen, and filmmaker Carrie Ann Flynn round out the flight crew, according to Blue Origin. The flight will last only around 11 minutes and reach a height of about 65 miles above Earth. The Kármán line, considered the boundary between Earth's atmosphere and outer space, is 62 miles. So Perry and her fellow crew members will not actually be in space or not actually be launched in orbit. The most recent all-female spaceflight was Soviet cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova solo spaceflight in 1963. Okay, so they really basically only gonna be out of space in for 11 minutes because outer space starts at 62 miles above ground and they going 65 miles above ground. So it's only 11 minutes. I never really researched the whole space thing. I just seen articles and, in true social media fashion, only read the title of it, but I don't know. I guess I would have assumed that they would have been going out of space for like a significant amount of time. It's still significant that they're going up there, but I mean, all that for 11 minutes. I don't know. I don't know what that's all about, but hopefully everything goes well. I know a lot of people online are very nervous about them going out of space. If y'all had the access, would y'all go out of space? And also, good morning to y'all. I see the view account is actually moving. I was actually recording this for later. Like I do my lives, and then it's easier to just do it and it's already posted on the page versus doing all of the video stuff and editing for nothing. I'd rather just get it out the way. But if y'all could, while y'all here, just click the like button or double tap your screen, and then from there, that would be appreciated. Just a little quick like, that helps a whole lot. But of course, people, they just listen or whatever. But 11 minutes, okay, so they going in space for 11 minutes. It's like 11 minutes. What are they gonna do while they're up there for 11 minutes? I guess maybe live stream it or something like that. I have no idea, but I know at some point they planning on having space travel regularly, and regular citizens are going to be able to space travel, but it's probably going to be really pricey in the beginning until, of course, they get the process down path and find a more economic way. But I just think with space travel, I consider myself a daredevil, like skydiving, hot air ballooning, ziplining, all of that. But for me personally, I really don't think that no matter what part of life I'm in, I'm ever going to have a goal of wanting to go out of space. So I respect people who do, and I have even more respect for people who end up doing it because, that's a part of their bucket list. I can't look at someone else's bucket list and try to criticize it or project things that I wouldn't do because other people want to do it. But it definitely will be interesting to see. Good morning. Thank you for coming in, Melissa. Hi. And it definitely will be interesting to see. And from Katy Perry and Gail King being people that's not astronauts, I want to know what their perspective is going to be about going into space and things like that. Or how it actually looks up there, because I know they always say it's pretty dark except for the sun and the moon. But it's it's just random given the year that we having right now, and they just randomly going into space. I know that the last time a crew of all women went into space was 1963. So it's not like we coming up on the anniversary of anything. Like it's just I have no idea. But what are y'all thoughts about them going out of space? You are so sweet. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. For me, I don't know. It would probably be fun to just see so much of the world disappearing because when they shoot them out into space, they have to go like at a really high speed. But I have no idea. So, what part of the world are you from, Melissa? Like as far as country or city? I know yesterday I had people from India. I had people in South Africa. I had people in parts of England, which is cool that you basically can get on the internet, especially on things like YouTube, and you just never know who around the world is going to see you because that's just how random the internet is. And that's why, like, in my instance, I basically, like, when I came back this time, I already have everything planned as far as I still will be my random self, but I just know that anything that I say on here has the potential to make it around the world because even if a person don't have a lot of views on YouTube, you just randomly get sent out to random people at random times, especially depending on when you posted whatever you posting or things like that. Matter of fact, I want to see what Google has to say about the YouTube algorithm because that's something to look at. Let's see what we can Google. How to get into the YouTube algorithm. Okay, so I Googled that, and I usually try to skip the sponsor ads because sponsor ads really just be there for. Okay, so this says, okay, this guide looks at how long form content is recommended to users specifically in the browse and suggested feeds. If you rather watch a video than read all of this, look up how the YouTube algorithm works in 2023 by channel makers. I got all these concepts from that video, but he goes much more into depth and explains. Wait, let me drink some water right quick. Okay, explain certain things I won't cover. It's also great if you need to visually see how it works. Fire, an analogy for the algorithm. Publishing a video on YouTube is like trying to start a wildfire. The bigger the fire goes, the more people you reach. However, every fire starts small. When you light the match, the fire will only start burning the few inches where the match was placed. It will continue to expand in every direction, but at different speeds because some of the material on the ground is easier or more difficult to burn. Additionally, if there is no more fuel in a certain area, the fire will stop spreading that direction. Hopefully, you see some of the parallels to the YouTube algorithm already, but this post should help everything make sense. Okay, next section says the simple explanation for how do videos spread and go viral. When a video is published on YouTube, it starts off being recommended to just a few people to see if they like it. If the algorithm sees that they enjoy the video, it will begin spreading to larger, broader groups of people. The algorithm continues spreading it until the video starts to perform poorly with the new audience it's testing. Once the video starts doing poorly, it will begin to stagnate and flatline because there aren't as many new viewers interested in watching it. Similar to a wildfire, once there is no more fuel at the edge, the fire is unable to expand any further. Although the fire is not expanding anymore, it can continue to burn and smolder in the area it has already been. This is why videos still pick up views months or years after they've been published. People's hobbies and interests change, and new people join the platform every day, so they are likely to fuel being dropped into the area that's already burning. Additionally, videos can blow up weeks, months, or years after it was initially published. One of the main causes of this is trending topics. If someone makes a video about the life of Oppenheimer 5 years ago, it might have done moderately well. However, now that there is a famous movie coming out and more people are interested in the topic, it could start to blow up. This would be like if someone dumped a pile of hay at the edge of the fire. It was stagnant, but now there is more fuel. It can begin expanding again. A brief message about video metrics. So, whenever I talk about the algorithm, seeing if a video is performing well or poorly, I'm talking about video metrics: click through rate, average view duration, average percentage view, likes, dislikes, comments, shares, surveys, and other metrics are used to determine how much a viewer enjoyed a video. In depth look at how videos spread. The algorithm doesn't just randomly choose people to recommend the video to because people have so many different interests and not everyone will be interested in watching it. Let's see, watching it. The algorithm, okay, instead, the algorithm goes through a process to see what is the very broadcast amount of people that will still enjoy the video. Remember that if at any point the video starts performing poorly, the algorithm won't recommend the video to any groups further down on the list. Core audience. Your core audience are the people that will watch almost every video you publish. This is usually your subscribers, but people can still be dedicated viewers even if they aren't subscribed. If you are a completely new channel with new subscribers, the algorithm tries to guess what your video is about and who might be interested. If the video doesn't recommend to anyone, it is probably because there's not enough data on your channel yet. Casual audience. Your casual audience are the people who sometimes watch your videos, but not all of them. This could be some of your subscribers or people who have watched your videos before but haven't subscribed. Your niche. After your casual audience, the algorithm tests the video with anybody who watches videos on the same niche. After recommending the video to people in your niche, the algorithm will try niches that are similar to yours. Videography and graphic design adjacent. Good morning. Welcome, man. I'm just reading this Reddit document about what the what people believe that YouTube algorithm is and things that they state work or doesn't work. Repeat step 5. The algorithm will continue repeating step 5 until eventually the video starts performing poorly because it is being recommended to people that are so far away from the target audience. Let's see. That's a okay. One thing to note is that a video might perform well with one niche and poorly with a different niche. For example, it might perform well in the web page design niche, but poorly in the animation niche. The video can still expand further into the web design niche while simultaneously stop spreading into the animation niche. Going back to the wildfire example, it would be like if the fire was expanding into rocky soil in one direction while expanding into a dry, grassy field in a different direction. The fire will slow or even stop spreading when it reaches the rocky soil while continuing to expand into the dry, grassy field. Why should I upload a niche? Which this answers my my weakness. I don't have a niche. I mean, I have multiple, but you need one for a channel. Now that you understand how the algorithm spreads the video, it is important to take a step back and look at how you start your fire. Many people ask, why is it important to upload videos in a niche? Because the algorithm always tests the video with your core audience first. You want to make sure that they will enjoy your video every single time. Otherwise, it won't spread any further than that. Consistently uploading videos in the same niche is the best way to ensure your core audience will always enjoy the video. They will know exactly what to expect from you each time you upload. However, if you suddenly upload a video that is completely outside of your niche, the core audience will be uninterested in the video, will perform poorly in the first step of the process. It might be extremely well made video, but the topic doesn't appeal to your core audience, so it will likely tank regardless. That is crazy because that is exactly everything this list says not to do. I did all of that, and I'm not even shocked that it didn't work in the beginning because when I first was making YouTube, it really was not about anything. It was just me making the channel to put content on there, and that was almost 20 years ago. My original YouTube. Then after I graduated school, I deleted that one because they didn't start monetization yet. And then I noticed over the years, I saw you once monetization kicked in, I was like, dang, if I would have kept my page, I would have been monetized because after a few years of me deleting my YouTube page when I was clearing out my emails, I saw that I actually had an email from YouTube offering me monetization at that time because at that time I had a good chunk of subscribers. And my videos used to get a sick amount of views. Like, so it was so crazy. My comment section used to be in shambles and everything. But most people will not remember that page unless they remember like the content on the page because I wasn't in the videos. I was recording other people as far as around school doing like a vlog and interviewing classmates and different things like that. Good morning to the three people in here. Thank y'all for clicking the like button or double tapping the screen. That's very kind of y'all. So that's one article. It says this is how the YouTube algorithm works, a guide for beginners, which for people who just getting in, it's a bunch of paragraphs and sections. But just to summarize it, the first thing is telling you an analogy of what an algorithm is, which basically is saying look at the YouTube algorithm as a wildfire, and the fact that with wildfires, they start off slow and they can burn in any direction. The second section is titled The Simple Explanation for How Videos Spread and Go Viral. And basically, it's saying when you make a video, it first starts off, well, if you brand new, it first tries to figure out what type of content you're making. And then once you are making content after a certain amount of time and YouTube has enough data on you, it tries to send your videos to first the people who have been watching your videos and the people who have been subscribing. And then the next group of people they try to send your video to is whatever group they consider your niche a part of. And then from there, after it's sent through your niche, it processes how many people liking the videos. Is the video a hit with your niche? Is the video a hit with your subscribers? And then if you keep checking off those things, like if your subscribers is loving it, it's going to continue sending it to the niche. And then from the niche, it also sends it to similar niches. So like if based off of what this article is saying, if you're doing photography, you might end up being sent to a niche that's related to technology, since photography uses technology, or you may get sent to a niche that has, good morning, welcome in, thank you for coming in, Dan. I'm just talking about the YouTube algorithm based off of someone's opinion, but it's a well-written article they wrote. And then it says that also with YouTube, you always have a possibility for your video to have a resurgence, as far as like if you make a video about a topic today that may not be, anything trending, but the video does bad, but like 6 years from now, they might make a movie that's connected to that topic that you made a video on. And then from there, is you're able to have a resurgence. Like they were saying, if somebody made a video about Oppenheimer some years ago, once the movie came out, they likely to have a resurgence. And let me just see what else. And it says how to use the YouTube algorithm works in 2025. 14 tips for more views. So let's see. Section 1 is the content. Section 2 is the YouTube algorithm is a recommendation system that decides which videos to suggest a particular viewer. The algorithm's job is to rank content based on the likelihood that a viewer will watch it using signals like relevance, quality, and user behavior. It's the gatekeeper to video views. So they consider the algorithm a gatekeeper. Want more video views? The recommendation algorithm holds the key. A recent experiment showed the algorithm directly drives 70% of the views on YouTube. In fact, most YouTube's computer codes seem to override even users' controls, meaning if you hit the dislike or not interested button on a video, the algorithm may still suggest similar content. That's why it's so important to understand how it works. That is so true, because they have times where there's certain type of content that I get and I constantly do whatever to not see it and I still see it. Or sometimes when I've unsubscribed from channels, if the direction went differently than what I was expecting, I'll still see them on my homepage. The algorithm is constantly evolving. The YouTube algorithm is an ever moving target. Just when you've got it figured out, an update that completely reorders recommendations and search results. It might seem like chaos, but there's a method to the media's magnate madness. Good morning to the two people who just came in. Thank y'all for coming in. Hey, Dimples. How you feeling today? Happy Monday, Motivation Monday. I'm just on the line looking at different websites about the YouTube algorithm and their opinion on things that we can do to work with the algorithm. Like this article I'm reading right now states, which is on WordStream by Local IQ. It says how the YouTube algorithm works in 2025 and 14 tips, which it says that a recent experiment showed that algorithm directly drives 70% of views on YouTube. And between 2015 and 2011, the algorithm recommended whichever video gets the most clicks Creators gamed the system with clickbait titles and misleading thumbnails. Then in 2012, the algorithm is all about timing. To surface videos people actually watch instead of the old click and run, YouTube changed the algorithm to prioritize watch time and percent of video completion. The shift encouraged some to create long form content and others to put out short snippets, but it did not solve the quality problem. And in 2015, the algorithm changed to YouTube published a very sciencey looking paper that describes a new way of suggesting content. Instead of using overall popularity, the algorithm takes personal preferences based on direct feedback and previous behavior into account when it recommends videos. Then, as of 2016, the last major update to the algorithm was content moderation takes center stage as YouTube moves to moderate harmful misinformation. Creators now have to be aware of community guidelines or risk being relegated to the no-show list. See, I knew there was a no-show list. They just answer what I said about when some people be shadow banned. The history of YouTube's algorithm is a forward march toward hosting quality content that keeps people on the platform. Let's look at how YouTube algorithm does that today. So this is all from, again, wordstream.com and an article by somebody named something. But how does the YouTube algorithm work in 2025? If you only take one thing away from this article, it should be that YouTube wants you to focus on your audience, not the algorithm. Our algorithm doesn't pay attention to videos, it pays attention to viewers. So rather than trying to make videos that'll make an algorithm happy, focus on making videos that make your viewer happy. Good morning, Queen Steez. Hey, how you doing today? I've been watching your videos, them fight videos and all of that. That's funny. Or almost fights and stuff. I just love your storytelling, like the way you tell stories. It makes me visualize what I'm seeing when I hear it. And it says, it's an important distinction if you read our little history lesson. The algorithm isn't simply recommended based on popularity. It's more about the likelihood that an individual user will watch the next video and then the next. So basically, it just wants us to have the TikTok effect on people to where if you're making content, it wants people to be able to constantly watch over and over. I figured that anyway. That's what all of the social media platforms are doing because the longer you stay on the app, the more money you make the app because the longer you're on, if you're not subscribed to ad-free subscriptions, you're going to get ads. And every ad we see, even if we skip it, that's why with ads, they don't let you skip it until a certain point because after so many seconds, YouTube has already gotten paid for that. They have it differently for content creators. Well, with content creators, people have to watch all of the content creator ads for them to get paid for it. But YouTube, like anybody, even on TV, if we watching TV and commercials playing, the network that we watching is getting paid for that, even if we not watching it. So it's all a money game. Good morning, Yo Yo. I never followed the algorithm. I just do what I like and what my artists like. Yeah, I like that's what I like about you because especially the story times. Like you have some really good story times, so I definitely like watching those. And for me, it's like I like people who take me away from all of the other crazy stuff on the internet. So when I'm able to feel like I'm in my own little world with certain channels and stuff like that, and it's just us or it's just us and the supporters and stuff like that. I like that kind of stuff because it be tired. How you feeling today, Yo Yo? How was your class yesterday? But also too, I like people who feel like a person. And I'm gonna elaborate. I like people that feel like it's just one of them. I do not like it's so dry when people feel manufactured, like if they came from a Temu rack or something. So that's what I like on the internet. Even when people piggyback off of trending topics, I like when they have their own flavor to it. It kind of reminds me of gumbo. There is no gumbo made the same. Like no one can make gumbo the same. Everybody has a different gumbo that's gonna have a different flavor, a different thing. And I like to see everybody's gumbo on here. Even though that sounds a little, that keeps me authentic when you follow trends, it come off as fake. Me too, Queen Steez. Okay, well, let me introduce y'all. I don't know if y'all already know each other, but both of y'all are two people I watch a lot of content on here. Queen Steez, meet Yo Yo, Yo Yo, meet Queen Steez. Both of y'all are awesome and bosses and things like that. So, boss to boss, word to three bosses at the same time. So, let's see what else they say about the algorithm. The three factors that affect how the algorithm matches viewers to the videos they can't resist watching: content characteristics, the recommendation location, external factors. Get these figured out, and you'll know how to play the algorithm like a well tuned instrument. Content characteristics, baby. Let me get another sip of water. Lord, I don't see how the people who talk a lot could talk all day. I do this, and I promise y'all, these last few lives I've been doing, I finish live and I don't talk for the rest of the day. But I mean, this is something. I like how the chunks of watch time be jumping. I'm good, thank you. How was your day? Class was great, thank you. You're welcome. For me, I'm fine. I did just cardio today, Stepmaster and Arc Trainer, and then I showered and now I'm doing this. But today I have stuff to do, but I'm just not gonna start it until I feel like, because I haven't procrastinated in so long. It's like I think we need a little bit of procrastination, kind of like a little pinch of sugar in life, because being on top of things too much, it's not good, at least in my instance. So let me see. First off, forget the notion that YouTube watches videos and picks its favorites. The algorithm can't do that. Instead, it looks for signals that tell it the content is a match for the viewer. Say you search for a tutorial on how to bake coconut cake. YouTube quickly finds content that matches your query. If the algorithm isn't grabbing a bowl of virtual popcorn and watching millions of videos, how does it know what to show? It relies on metadata in the titles, tags, and descriptions. Performance signals. The algorithm isn't a critic, but it does get clues on what good content is from video metrics. The metrics YouTube uses to assess good content include: how long do people watch? How long is the average video view, and what percent of the video view does the average viewer watch? For me, I would say about 30 seconds, maybe. Maybe long enough to warm up a bag of popcorn and then go watch a better video, probably. How many times is a video viewed when it's recommended? Did the people like the video? Creator signals. YouTube algorithm wants to make sure it's not recommending dangerous dangerous or untrustworthy content. One way it does this is by reviewing the channel it came from. If the channel shows signs of topical authority and trustworthiness, then YouTube is more likely to recommend its content. And then recommendation location. Okay, look, this is longer than I thought, so I didn't bit off more than I could chew, but I'm about to just skip and go to this part about the 14 ways. 14 ways to hack the YouTube algorithm. I know they lying. See SEO words. In some ways, YouTube SEO operates like its cousin, Google search. People type in words into the search bar and the algorithm looks for content related to those words. To grab the top spot on result pages, do your YouTube keyword research, then place keywords in the file name, title, description, and subtitle. Add subtitles and closed captions to your video. Okay, this sound like a second job. Okay, so no, I mean it's like certain things I'm looking at. I understand all of this, and I kind of been through this, but I'm just not gonna put myself in that position because I know me, I get burnt out very quickly. Not quickly, but I just don't like giving and not getting nothing in return because I mean I did that most of my life, so that's kind of played out now. Use Google Trends to find popular topics. Okay, they have apps for that. Make irresistible thumbnails. You need video clicks to impress the YouTube algorithm, but there's over 500 hours of content uploaded to YouTube every day. That's a crowded space to stand out in. Your best tool in the fight for attention on YouTube is the thumbnail. Hook viewers with great intros. If people immediately click away from your videos, YouTube will take it as a signal that your content isn't worth sharing. To keep viewers around, make sure you have an introduction that hooks people immediately. That doesn't mean necessarily making your intro big and flashy. What's really important is that the first few seconds tell the viewer that the video will live up to the title and the thumbnail. Crash Course is an educational video channel that does it well. Add cards and end screens. Okay, I used to do that too. Add subscription watermarks. I used to do that too. Create series and playlists. Still do that. Cross promote your content. You don't have to wait for the algorithm suggesting to get new viewers. You can find people outside of YouTube who will love your content by cross promoting it on other platforms. Yeah, that's definitely a good way to do it. Creep on your competitors. You can learn loads about the algorithm by watching what works for other creators in your space. The simplest way to conduct competitor research is by typing your SEO keywords in the search bar, then snoop on their thumbnails, keywords, subtopics, video length, titles and descriptions. Add timestamps. Nix the clickbait. Post at the best time. Best time to post each day. According to this, it says we know the algorithm doesn't care if you hit publish at 9 a.m. on Tuesday or 2 p.m. on Saturday. But if you post when your audience is online, you can get a little early boost in engagement. If the algorithm sees it, it could expand the reach of your video. Let me see. In your title, use who, what, when, where, why, and how. Yes, yes. Amen. Definitely, because it kind of give people a little bit more of an idea of what to expect. Because it's, in my opinion, I'm least likely to look at a complete stranger video if I have no idea who they are, what they're talking about, or anything like that. Unless I'm hate watching. I love hate watching. I'll hate watch anybody videos. If they discussing somebody that I want to hear get dragged, and make sure that they feel the same way I do. Because sometimes when I see certain behaviors in public and I see that people go above and beyond to defend it, I always take a step back at myself and be like, am I like in the alternate universe? Am I under the influence? Did somebody put something in my bottle of water? Did I inhale any gasoline, too much gasoline at the gas station? Do I have a asbestos in my apartment, even though it's brand new? Like, am I losing it? So it's always amazing to me to see other people's perspectives, whether they share mine or if it's different. I love difference because I always want to see like what's the cause of our difference? Is it our upbringing? Is it our mind? Is it our intelligent level? Is it our income level? Like what's the difference in between me and people in certain situations to where a person could be a complete failure and a threat to humanity, and then people just be putting them on a throne and saying, "Yes, queen." Like I get encouragement, but if we really care about the person we encouraging, I don't think that we would be encouraging their downfall through their actions. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But get analytical. YouTube wants you to win. Do they really? So much so that they give you a bunch of data to help you be a better content creator. Now, I will give them that the YouTube studio area is the penthouse of YouTube. Okay, so that was that. I mean, for me, I just think some people have destinies that take longer to come through. So this is something for us to do, but some of us may not even be meant to be here to become a big YouTuber. Some of us may be on here to access some of the knowledge that's available on YouTube, and that could help us grow in a area that we didn't expect, or maybe some of the connections we make may translate into other areas of life to where we may build a rapport with some of these people on here to where maybe down the line they might be the reason that we start a business, or we might be the reason that they able to get in with a company that's kind of gate kept. Like some companies I know, especially the post office in New Orleans, you will not get a job if you don't know nobody. Like they do not hire people from direct applications. It's basically generational wealth via the post office because people they always hiring, but unless somebody directly tells you to go there and you directly apply, then you really ain't gonna even your application probably they won't even deny your application. That's how big they is on gatekeeping. You can sit up here and do a thing, and then from there they'll like usually when you do an application for companies and they never look at it, you will see that it gets expired or they'll tell you that we moving on with other people. Post office out here, you might get a decline letter 10 years later because they was never going to call you anyway. They prefer to have the people who they have there now that's going to put your mail in the wrong mailbox or put make a mistake, and instead of putting your packages in your PO box, they put it at the front for you to have to come pick it up, even though your PO box is large enough for whatever package that they sent. Because that's what happens to me every time I go to the post office. If I have a package, it could be the size of a ring box. They still gonna have it at the check-in area. And I'm like, what's the point of me having the largest PO box? But yeah, so today I'm not rolling like I usually do as far as with the topics in the conversation. So I don't even know how long I'm gonna be out here because it's like definitely appreciate y'all coming in though, and hopefully, like the other articles say, maybe I'm just a slow burn channel. But I'm conflicted because I don't care about the results of what I do on here, but then I also am a person that don't do stuff for nothing. So it's like we at the crossroads. I know what they meant when they said, "See you at the crossroads. You won't be lonely," because you won't. Maybe it's a lot of people at the crossroads and we don't realize it, or y'all don't realize it, not me. So let's see. You have to stay consistent. Yeah, and that's why I'm sticking with this because I accidentally just decided to go live the first day I did it. Like I always knew that that was an option for me, but I didn't expect myself to do it so early in this process. And I noticed that it's very seamless. It's a little bit different from videos because I'm much more comfortable doing this. Titles and thumbnails are really important. Definitely, especially if it's something that's new to people. Like for live, I'm really relaxed with my live thumbnails, but with actual long form content, I definitely will have thumbnails for those. But I think a part of me is tiptoeing towards long form content because that was the burnout the last time. If I would have just continued at the level that I was at and maintain that level, then I wouldn't have been burned out. And I knew all of this, but that and not to mention a lot of outside stuff going on that have nothing to do with the internet as well. So for me, I'm more of a like I'm half ghost, half present when it comes to this stuff. So for me, I can easily support people and show up for people when it comes to YouTube, but when it comes to me having to be the person that needs the showing up. And that's another thing too. I think psychologically and subconsciously, I don't like being put in positions to where the outcome of something is relying on other people. So mine is a little bit deeper than rap, always with shorts, videos, and lives. I do find a lot of good short content, like shorts, because the Adobe that come with my school work have all kinds of pre-made videos and stuff that'll be good for shorts. It's just in between me coming up with ideas and executing them. That's the gray area. You need a little coloring book or something like that. I'm trying to think what I want to eat today, or right now at least. But that's one thing about waking up early in the morning is that sometimes I be in a lunch mood, and it be you can't be in a lunch mood at this time, especially if it's takeout. Always with shorts and things like that. I also too have an idea as well of another option because for me what I have to understand is that YouTube could work for me perfectly if I wasn't a part of it. Like there are so many types of channels that don't require me to be a part of it that I could easily do. But with that, that'll come in time. So I'll just continue doing the lives and stuff, and I still have my camera ready and my ideas for that. But I think I'm gonna just try this out for a certain amount of time and just continue being live. Hit a Coney Island and get what you want. We don't have Coney Islands out here, yo yo. We have for breakfast, we have Chick-fil-A, we have McDonald's, which McDonald's is not in my lane. I don't even speak. That's that's not a god. McDonald's, Burger King, and then like restaurant style places. We have what we have. Um, damn, I know we have like a lot of places downtown that have brunch, but ironically enough, a lot of them don't open up until lunchtime. And we have, as far as lunch and dinner, we have Chili's. We used to have TGI Friday. They just went home to the Lord. One day I was seeing them 50 Cent Mondays for wings, and then next thing you know, it's a do not enter sign. I'm like, dang, even TGI Friday getting evicted? Like, Lord, everybody getting evicted. But what else we have? They have a place called Toast down the street, but they have too many commercials everywhere, so I'm sure they probably be packed. I just I don't mind waiting if I really want to go eat somewhere, but I think that that's kind of like terrorism because if you hungry and you go somewhere in the spirit of being hungry, only to have to wait longer, like the whole reason of hunger is because your body said I ain't waiting no more. So the fact that your body be like ring the alarm, I've been through this too long, and then you got to sit and go through it even longer. Uh-uh. I can't be in public hungry because that's not me no more. Like my primal instincts kick in when I'm hungry. Like I've had times offshore, I've almost like uppercut some of my shipmates for leaning over trying to see what I was eating while I'm hungry. Like no. So I definitely understand people appetites in food. That's why for me, I'm never going to sit up here and go in on what people eat. The only thing I'm gonna tell people is be mindful of what you eat and what it does to you, and also please, for heaven's sake, please drink water and have some form of green vegetable. I know some of them are not tasty to people, but even if you got to mix it in with something, like I see sometimes where people, if they have trouble eating vegetables, they'll just mix it in with whatever they eating, and that way you still getting the right amount. And also too, I think this may be controversial, but I think that New Orleans overall, not everywhere, because I'm sure they probably have parts in New Orleans that still have it, but I think that New Orleans lost the flavor that I remember it to be. So honestly, when some people do say that New Orleans does not have the best food in Louisiana, I kind of could see that, depending, because if a person only went to certain places out here, that can actually be factual. And the fact that they have that many places to where people could come out here and not have a good food experience shows that. I'm sorry, I'm getting some more water. But the fact that people can have the bad experience that they have and even list multiple places that they went to that are actually bad places shows that New Orleans ain't as cold as they are. Because if we were so cold, like even our worst place would still be better than a lot of out of town places. And that's not the case. I don't understand how so many people say they don't drink water. Yes, like I literally every time storms come, people always show their hand with water because if you at least, a storm coming, people panic by, you would at least have water, but you just want to stock up more. People legit don't be having no water. And we wondering why they side be sizzling like fajitas at Chili's. It's like, baby, first of all, our liver and kidneys need water to properly function, and they break down toxins that we naturally encounter. So to add more work to them and not even be giving them pay, it's like, and they wonder why our bodies be going against us because we be torturing our bodies, especially with situations where people just have extracurricular activities and they don't ever really fully recover from it, like at all. And that's why so many of these youngins are looking like they was forgotten in the oven on 450 degrees because they starting off younger with vitamin deficiencies. At least a lot of us, we had school to at least make us eat halfway nutritional, and family members halfway making us eat nutritional. So when we became adults, we took the wheel and either we crashed or we thrived. But now, baby, these kids coming out eating chicken nuggets and McDonald's Sprite all of the time and just all kinds of stuff. So then they start vaping at 12 and popping pills in gym class. Like it's just so much going on now. So people are frying their bodies faster. I 2 to 3 cases of water every 2 to 3 weeks. For me, I really don't have to get water often because I get so much when I do that it just lasts until needed. And then during hurricane season, I purposely keep a minimum of 9 cases of water just in case. Like some if I evacuate for something, I may drop off a case or two to some people. Message redacted. Message redacted. But that and then stuff like toilet paper. Well, not toilet paper. Well, matter of fact, speaking of toilet paper, I still don't know why in 2020 who started everybody buying toilet paper. Was that somebody on the internet playing the joke just to see how much power the news has over people or something? Because I still would never understand that. Like how we had a toilet paper shortage and all of this other stuff because people was panic buying toilet paper. And once the pandemic ended, it's like they had people who had so much toilet paper that they didn't even have nothing to do with it. Like they couldn't even properly store it in a house. And that if I don't know. Let's see. Simply Sunshine. Good morning, Sunshine. How you doing? Welcome in. Happy Monday. It's Motivational Monday, and we went over the Katy Perry and them going to outer space. So it's only 11 minutes they're gonna be in space. I also Google about the algorithm thing and read like two different articles that broke it down. And now I'm discussing lack of hydration, over purchasing toilet paper, and vitamin deficiencies in the youth. Which actually I don't even know which generation we in. Like, is it I know it was X at one point, then it was Y. Was it Generation Y? I never heard him say Generation Y, Generation X, Generation Y, Generation Z. And I think now it's Alpha or Beta or something like that because the warehouse and everything was out of stock. Oh, okay. I didn't really see that. It was crazy because most of the pandemic occurred when I was offshore. So when I would come back, like for the little few times, like the little periodically time I was off, I would not see those things. But maybe it's because I was in smaller cities. Like a lot of those coastal Louisiana cities, they so small that when those things happen on the national scale, like outages and shortages of stuff, they still be having everything. Like I know something was they had a shortage of last year or the year before, and it's like every store I went to, I was able to get it easily. But I was seeing on the internet that even people out here, was not able to find it. But also too, I don't live directly in New Orleans currently. Like, yes, I'm from New Orleans directly, which is debatable as well, but I don't live directly there. Like I'm in the outskirt area, so we don't get the brunt as much as they do when it comes to things. Not to mention, it's safer where I live at, and I don't have to go to sleep two gunshots ringing out like rain sounds on the Calm app. So that's another thing too about when it comes to city experience. Good morning, Pepper. Happy Monday. I was definitely stocking up. I had tissue for a year, no lie, and we just used the emergency case. Google says we're in Generation Alpha. Generation Alpha. That's crazy. How everything just resets. I mean, I honestly, I really don't know what generation we in as far as people because everyone is so individual now, which I actually like it, whether they realize it or not, because levels of maturity do not stick to age. Like so many things they told me as a child that is not true. People grow up, everybody gonna grow up, everyone is gonna change, and oh, a person is doing this because it's the age. Meanwhile, you have people at certain ages that are above their age. You have people at certain ages that meet their age, which is, that's okay. And then they have people that's certain ages that's below their age. That differs because if it's a child, they innocent. I don't have nothing to say about that. But when it comes to adulthood, if a person ain't registered to be an idiot, if you're not a licensed idiot, it is no reason for you to for people to still respect the fact that you're allegedly delayed or whatever, but then you're making moves and making decisions and talking to other people like if you have the IQ of Einstein or something. Thank you for all coming in. Please hit the like button. Thank you, yo yo. Yo yo, regulating. Okay, yo yo. When I get my income taxes, I'm gonna have to put you on payroll. If I get some back child support from a million years ago when I was a kid, because I think somebody owed me child support. I don't remember, but I feel like they do, and I claim that back. I don't care that I'm 1,000 years old right now. I still want my money. Money is money, and money don't expire. When you look at the bottom of money, you don't see no expiration date. You see the printed date. So that means money is forever. So if you owe me forever. Even in the afterlife, I will find them and I will get my money back because there are ways to do that. We in New Orleans, so you know what they say about us, even though that's far from the truth, but I like to play around with the idea that New Orleans people practice all kinds of things. So you know how that go. Once a troll, forever a troll. But I'm nothing like the trolls of today. I don't sit up here and harass strangers. My form of trolling is just saying outlandish things with no context and then thriving off of the shock value that people have from it. But other than that, it's like, no. So when I be saying I'm trolling, people be thinking about the trolls that they experience, but no, baby. You will never see me nowhere leaving nothing negative on the internet. I don't wear watches because I don't have time. Now I do wear an Apple Watch, but that ain't a watch because I use that to count how fat or how skinny I am for the day, which is completely different. Good morning, Poe. Oh, we got Poe in here. Shout out to Poe from Curves and Convos with Gina Janine. And she also is beautiful Poe, the vlogging queen. Oh, real life. Good morning, real life. Look at y'all, Poppington. I guess maybe I do gotta pay my dues and be empty for damn near an hour of talking to myself, even though I wasn't. I'm just being dramatic, of course, guys. So it's good to have y'all in here. But yeah, so it's Motivational Monday. Whatever goals you have, start it right now. Do not wait until tomorrow. Don't wait until the beginning of next month. All of that. I feel like with goals, start it as soon as you feel like it because that time that you starting randomly, that's your time to really get all of the kinks and the bugs out of your goal system so you could see what your weak points is, what you need to improve on to achieve your goal. Who are the ops of your goal? Because you may love people and they probably are the biggest threat to whatever goal you want to achieve, just depending on what the nature of the threat is. So start now. Whatever, if it's a fitness goal, a finance goal, if you plan to wreck a home and take that lady husband because he's a provider and she don't deserve him, start now. Or if you plan on buying NBC like Bill Cosby was gonna do, start putting your money towards it now. Like get it started now. Real life simply Poe, good morning. Look at real life with the manners. Let's go real life. So for me, my goal is to stop doing content for good and to start doing content for evil. And I've started already. I mean, not really, but for me, I have too many references to where I know that y'all not gonna always get all my references. I have a lifetime worth of insiders and things like that. But I could also make content for women, like how to spot a DL in 20 seconds or 50 ways to know that people don't really mess with you or something. I don't know. I don't even know what y'all like what type of stuff y'all would like or what. I used to be begging in my old videos like, you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Please tell me what y'all want so I can know to make more of that. And so I didn't know, so I just was up here going crazy on Temu. Now, granted, I didn't overconsume on Temu because I needed most of those clothes anyway. Because I went from being Hootie and the Blowfish to being Slender Man within a short periodically time. So when I was doing my Temu hauls, they were actually legit and they worked pretty well. But then everybody started roasting Temu, even though thanks to our good old trade war we have going on, now y'all see that Timu wasn't the actual villain. That most of the stuff that we get from that area of the world is the same stuff, and it don't cost over $100 for no amount of luxury. So anything that we get that's luxury, it's a scam. Y'all do better buying purses from people who have small businesses, if anything. What did I do? Don't be encouraging people to break up homes. I mean, I listened to Alicia Keys, and we know how that ended, and I didn't turn on her. So the fact that I still with Alicia Keys, if I stand with one home record, then that means that it's a home run. We have a baseball team. I got to stand with all home records. I feel like I can't, I can't judge Cousin Fate, but then sit up here and praise Alicia Keys. What's good for the hoe is good for the harlot. Like it's equal opportunity around here. And honestly, I'm gonna tell y'all a dark secret. I really don't look at relationships the way I used to. Like I really used to value relationships to where anytime a person was taken, I would immediately make them off limits and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Until I realized why are we robbing ourselves? Wait, let me drink this water because it's about to get spicy. Why are we robbing ourselves of a good time or of money, of opportunity, of whatever to keep somebody else's house safe? If you got the door, the front door, the back door, the window, and the attic entrance open, who am I to just say, oh well, they're in a relationship, she's in a relationship, he's in a relationship. First of all, what is the difference between being in a relationship and being single? In today's world, there's nothing. Because all the relationship is me looking at somebody and them looking at me and we saying we together. And if we really want to take it there, some people don't even have that conversation and it really be one person in the relationship and the other person just be, you know, I don't know, a coworker, a job shadow or something. It don't be a relationship. So it's literally nothing there that stops a person from being in a relationship or being single. So if two people in a relationship, or maybe three people, nowadays we have polygons and polynomials and all of that stuff. So with that, if a party that's involved in this relationship is outside of their relationship, who am I to stop them? I'm not the SPCA. I'm not about to knock at your door and be like, "Here's your dog. They're in my lawn." No, especially nowadays, them expensive dogs y'all be having. If somebody see y'all dog, y'all notice y'all don't see y'all dog again, right? Exactly. So I feel like if we keep comparing men to dogs, then why we don't treat them like dogs? Finders keepers, losers weepers. Duh. I mean, unless it's somebody that's just utterly annoying, then yes, by all means, tell them that you can't mess with them because you're in a relationship or they are in a relationship and stuff like that. The only time I really feel a way about home wrecking is if somebody is hurt in the situation because I feel like we should not hurt people unwarranted. But a lot of these situations, they be cheating against each other. The dude be trying to cheat with you, but then the girl done already cheated first. So this is him cheating back. So how can we encourage cheating back but then we also support the sanctity of relationships. We gotta pick one. Now, I know when they tell me to pick one at restaurants, I just pay for extra entree. But in real life, we have to literally pick one. So I mean, I don't be understanding what people be wanting because for me, I don't even seek people out. I literally just post on the internet with the idea of posting, except for YouTube. I be seeking y'all out on here as content creators, as people I want to watch content from. But on the internet, I mind my business. So if relationships are so important to people, how come ever since I was 18 years old, every single person, no, let me double that back. Not every single person. Um, a majority of people who have came at my top are in relationships, and they're not open relationships. It's not known that they are, and a lot of times they be hiding the person until Valentine's Day, which is so atypical. Valentine's Day, Christmas, a wedding, when the person died, that's when you find out they was together. Just stuff like that. So it's like that's over a decade and some change of people being in relationships trying to talk to me, and me sitting up here missing out on things because that person is in a relationship. That is not my fault. I did not create that relationship, so it's not my job to maintain that. That's the equivalent of a person having a house that they don't keep clean, and I'm just coming over there cleaning their house up. I don't live there, so the house ain't my responsibility. I just came to have fun. So, right, yo, that's how I feel. You're not equally yoked. That means you're not with the right one. Yeah, a lot of people don't be with the right one. That's the thing. But I think the right one is what is right for us too, as well, because Disney could have us thinking that a person is just going to be like almost inhuman, like some of the qualities we think about a person that we haven't met yet. And I think that it helps to do two things to try to match with a person who's where you're going or where you want to be, but also for us to try to upgrade ourselves every chance we get. Because the more we upgrade ourselves, that's the more that we are in tune with ourselves, and that's the least likely we are to tolerate people who could come into our life and set us back. Because when we are younger, it's easy for us to deal with people who are gonna set us back because we more optimistic. We still have that brightness in our eyes from childhood. But as we get older, we realize that some situations, like that's why people come up with partnership relationships. Because sometimes it's like, okay, originally I wanted a person who was gonna be just for me. And yeah, they're for you, but I noticed that they like to look at other people on the internet a lot. They're very flirtatious. Some people bite the bullet and be like, you know what? I used to break up with people for this, but I'm gonna just stick with this person because he matching all of the other things. But I'm gonna just, not deal with that. And I find that when it comes to women and bottoms, a lot of times women and bottoms are always settling. Like there's instances where men and tops and stuff, they don't settle, they settle too, but majority of the time a lot of them who doing the act of pursuing really ain't worth shit. And that's another thing, relationship people be so put together. It's like you think you met your knight in shining armor, but it's only for a good time, not a long time. And I think that even if it is a good time or a long time, we should experience it, because it's more common than not for people to be side pieces and mistresses. And I wonder what they call a man that's a mistress. Is it a mistresses or miss? Because if a mistress is miss and then stress, Mr. Stress, I guess. I don't know. I ain't never heard of a male mistress. I don't know. I can't think of one. But we see, and even on the internet, we see when we see closely to people relationships, a lot like unless it's a person, I feel like home wrecking should be innocent until proven guilty. That's what it should be, because every case ain't home wrecking. Just like every woman ain't a a harlot, and we find that men be quick to call women harlots just because they didn't get their way, or just because they felt played or something. So I don't know. I think we need to let I'll stay alone before I ever settle. That's how I feel too. But then it's like us as people, we always want more anyway. Like we want more in life. Whenever we get the money we want more. Whenever we get the car we want. Some people want more, not me. I'm a simple Sam. I'm good with my little Ford Fusion. You ain't got no car note on it either, baby. So I think the difficulty when it comes to people is that sometimes we want everybody to be our forever, and some people maybe need to be our right now in the moment. Like for me, I used to regret the shoplifter pill popper that I dated in 2014. Shout out to you, Poe. You know who I'm talking about. They actually died too. Rest in peace. But I realized that that actually made me to be the best version of myself that I would have never been if I would have never been in that tragic relationship. So a lot of times we try to not settle to avoid disappointment and avoid failure, but some things, some lessons are blessings. And when I think about times that I failed, if I would have been trying to skip failure and not go through certain situations, I wouldn't have a lot of the insight and strength that I have now. So like I actually saw a different perspective about love is that love is something that we do for the rest of our life. So even if we miss out on it or if it hurt us, we're supposed to keep moving. And I find that a lot of people do have success in that. Like even in and even and Poe, you'll never guess how they got sent to their maker. Putting their hands on somebody in Houston, and I guess the person wasn't about to wrestle with the devil, so they just pulled out a Glock and said block, block, blicker, 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 blicker. But anyway, so I think when we try to like protect ourselves, if anything, we hurt ourselves more because the more experience we have, good or bad, is still more experience. We still stronger. So sometimes we may not need to settle with a person, like how some people be together for so long that they become common law married. Shout out to all my aunties and uncles, because damn near all of them did that. Basically, just was with people for years, shacked up and stuff. But if that's what your goal is, that's your goal. And a lot of times we miss our goal because we base our goals off what people told us we should want. We haven't done the work to figure out what we want because sometimes we can find ourselves and realize we thought we wanted more than what we wanted. Like for me, I used to think that I wanted companionship, but I honestly don't. And for me, I would just rather enjoy people the way I enjoy people, like collaborating, helping, being of help, being a listener, being supportive, being encouraging. I don't want a person that to travel the world with me. I don't want a person to share my bed with me. And because for me, if I okay, let's say I did want that. One of the hardest things out that would be with me is dental health for that person because I would need you to have your side teeth. I would need you to have very minimal morning breath because if your morning breath is not minimal, we need to figure out what's going on. Now we up here doing an investigation on your allergies and on your tonsils and all this other stuff because the last thing I ever want to do is wake up in the morning and hear a voice and then immediately smell baby diapers. So I'm fine with being alone because I like to travel alone. I don't like sharing food. I'll buy you food, but I'm not gonna share food with you. I don't like sharing personal space. I will if I wake up in the morning and go to use the restroom and the door is closed because somebody's in there, that's gonna take me back to childhood with my brother. Because as a kid, I don't know what was wrong with him, but he used to sit in the bathroom for an hour or 2 hours every morning. So if I didn't get in the bathroom before him, it's over. So just stuff like that. And a lot of times when people have dealt with me, they always damn, but not you calling me out simply. I am a Virgo, August 23rd. But for me, I find the times that I communicate with people, I don't know if it's me or if it's them, but I always result in people love bombing me. And I don't like that because they love bomb me before I beat and did anything. Like I've had people online, which I don't even play them games no more. As far as the parasocial relationships where they flirt with you so much under your post to where it's kind of like y'all become in their mind, not mine, in a relationship or like a future relationship, but they never try to come to your city. They never actually have meaningful conversations outside of hey, sup, HRU, WID, and their response to all of that is usually chilling or bored. Which, if you're an adult and you bored, you better be a billionaire, because if you bored and broke, I'm gonna add a third B to that B, and we're gonna be the BBB. Bitch, you bored and broke, it away from me. So my brother used to be sitting by heat vent the whole time. My ex a Virgo, I'm a Capricorn. Say we compatible. I'm dodging any Virgo. I don't blame you. Virgo men are psychotic and they should not be trusted. I was stalked by a Virgo dude that I didn't even know over somebody he seen me tweeting on Twitter, and in his little pea brain psychotic mind, he made up a whole relationship scandal between me and the person he was dealing with. Whole time I'm offshore. I'm not even in New Orleans when the person he was dealing with came to New Orleans. So yeah, I don't recommend Virgos to anybody. I don't care. As far as Virgo men, Virgo women, I feel like women of any sign are always better than their male counterparts, but that's between me and Monica and Brandy, you know. But back to, as far as the people love bombing me, they would love bomb me in ways that made me uncomfortable because I knew it wasn't genuine. Like, if someone online that I never met a day in my life, and I wouldn't let them skip me at the line to get in the club free before 10, would tell me, I wish we was cuddling. And one time I replied to somebody when they said that. I'm like, you want to cuddle with me? What if I'm musty? What if my breath stink? Like, what if I have skid marks in my boxes? And they gonna reply and say, "Oh, I know, I can tell that it's not you, that you keep up with yourself." That's not a turn on to me. You're either homeless, you either a super spreader, or you are a an assassin that is sent to destroy me. Because why would I, as hard as I work for everything I have, let a complete stranger come around me because you complimented me on the internet? Like, I don't be understanding that. And I noticed the more and more I attempted to align with society standards that we all need to be cuffed, otherwise we're not worth a penny at a yard sale. And I realized that we all have different things that fit us. And for me, I'm just good with dealing with people on a certain level, like subject matter, like dealing with people on encouragement, acknowledgement, and stuff like that. I don't want to do all that lovey dovey stuff, because I also find too, dudes don't be tough like me. They be so soft, and it's like, I get that it's Skittles taste the rainbow, but God, like, we still have testicles. Like, be a proverbial man about it. But they don't be. They be so catty and crybaby-ish, and it's just gross. That's why I don't even be playing them games no more. For me, if people ask, I am asexual. I don't sleep with humans. I don't even sleep with myself. Half of me be in the living room, the other half being in the bedroom. So let's see, not a penny at a yard sale, right? Simply Sunshine. What restaurants do y'all have in y'all city that y'all like? For me, I have fell in love with Piccadilly's recently, as y'all can see, based off of my OCD kicking in, and I'm eating that every day. I, I actually didn't eat that yesterday though. I um I actually cooked everything at. Wait, did I cook everything at home? Yeah, I did. I cooked everything at home, and then when I took a nap and woke up hungry, I went to Jersey Mike's and got a chicken cheesesteak something something. I don't know. I didn't even plan on staying on here this long. Well, guys, did y'all have anything y'all wanted to talk about? And thank y'all for supporting me. I actually get excited when I see familiar faces, because that means that we're starting off small. And let me know if y'all gonna be watching Katy Perry and them go to space. I really hope she's safe, because the amount of people that spoke, over her failure over that outer space mission is spooky. And for me, I get that some things will happen regardless of what we believe, but I also believe that too much negativity being believed on a situation can also impact it. And scientists even study that as well with the laser test, that the fact that people thinking about something can impact the results and stuff. So hopefully Katie is safe, but that's crazy to be risking it all for 11 minutes. That's kind of like risking it all for sleeping with somebody, because that'd be 11 minutes or less too, though. Glad I caught your live. Thank you. And I mean, for me, I think that depending, it looks like this might be a good time to go live every day. I'll probably start a little later because I think 7 may be better on weekdays and then 6 could be better on weekends. Because it seems like we always have stuff to talk about because we just, we vibe like that. And that's what I like about social media when we socialize. Because a lot of social media nowadays, it's not even normal to comment, like how I'm from the MySpace era, where it was a big thing to show love to people page, have people in your top friends. Good morning, Earth and Angelic Orchestra. She going to space today, yo yo. It could be at any moment now. It said 8, I think it said 8 a.m. CDT, which I'm like, that would be now then, right? I don't know, because I'm in Central. But MySpace, we used to show love, that was normal. Then Facebook era came around. MySpace was still around, but MySpace was like maybe going through a midlife crisis. Then Facebook came around. Facebook started popping, but Facebook still was a little bit gatekept for college people and for people who like to sell fish plates on the weekend in the parking lot. And so then Instagram came. Instagram was still big to show love to people, but it was more likes. It wasn't really comments like that. And then skip fast forward, it's all of these different social media apps now, and then we sharing the internet with our grandparents and with our kids, depending on how old we are. And now is people actually think it's creepy when if you show them too much love. Not like trying to flirt with them or trying to get their number or nothing, but just being a consistent person to be in their likes and be in their comments and stuff like that. It is more normal now to just watch people and not say nothing. Like for me, I have over, I don't know how many on my trap phone, Snapchat. I have like 6,000 followers. Baby, when I tell you, them people don't be saying nothing. Now, they'll randomly reply to stuff, but it's always spooky when they do it. It's never normal or it's never like no support and just keep it moving. It's like if they do say something to you, if you reply, now it's about to be all this creepy stuff. So it's like we have really fell from grace. Good morning, sunshine. I'm in Eastern. Simply, good morning. How you feeling today, Earth Angelic Orchestra? So I feel like I like people who still have that in them to know that showing support is normal. And if you do get buku comments from me on different videos or the same video or something, that's me showing that I rock with you. Because for me, I don't support people. I do support people, but I don't support people. That's the that's the paradox about me. Like I have a lot of paradoxes to my personality. Like I'm super supportive when I am, but I'm not just throwing it like giving it out. I go based off of energy and feeling. When I feel like like honest energy from a person, because good or bad energy could be that's subjective to our opinion. But when I feel honest energy from a person to where that energy is really who they are and it's matching with their actions and my energy is connecting with it, that lights something up in me to where I want to see a person win and I also want to be a part of their win as far as pushing their win forward. Good morning, Deborah. How you doing? And thank you for coming in. Thank all y'all for coming in. So for me, I just want to be a part of that, not a part of it like getting credit for it, but just be a part of the energy that's pushing them forward. So, with that being said, a lot of times it's people who will see us and expect support from us. But for me, if I don't have that energy from them, I'm not starting up. I'm like a car with no key. You can't start me up. I'm nice to look at. You probably could get in the back seat. Maybe could put some stuff in the trunk, but without the key, you can't start me. So that's how the type of time I'm on with people, and I really appreciate those kinds of people because though very few people get that reaction from me, And the people who do get the supportive version of me, I cannot get them to believe that I am not naturally a supportive person, and just all of the different negative things that I consider negative about myself that I won't change because I feel like I've had like without negative traits, our positive traits can be taken too far and used and abused. Mine is just more of a safeguard, and it's not like I'm guarded or like I'm one of those people who just overly paranoid. No, I trust my intuition and I go by that. And not too many people pass the intuition interview or whatever. Let's see. Hey, hi, yo, good morning, Deborah. Real life, nope. So do I. It's a chat. I'm good on this nice Monday morning. I hope people don't think I'm weird. I comment 2 and 3 times. No, I don't think that that's weird at all, honestly. Especially if it's related to something. Like it takes like in order for me to think something is weird, it gotta really be weird because I'm the founder of weirdness in the 90s. Like weirdness actually had took a little break between the 70s because the 70s was spooky weird. And then after the uh the crack epidemic, weird had went to rehab. So then when I was born, I brought weird back again. So for me, when I think something is weird, it is, baby, they need to be arrested. Even if it ain't a crime, arrest them. And there's some weird stuff out there. Like, I'll give y'all an example. I was watching people get arrested on YouTube because I like to see that. And they had this girl of a different racial background in Walmart. She went to Walmart to get mayonnaise and oatmeal. So you already know how this about to turn out. Cause who gonna go get mayonnaise and oatmeal? Like I can't. So they have the footage of her, like the whole walkthrough. She went to the grocery section in Walmart. This young whippersnapper, or whatever she won't be called, somehow ends up in the plant area of Walmart, which is way on the other side. Which so she's crazy because if you came in on the food side, you got the food instead of you just leaving. Why this girl went in the plant section and just randomly started a fire in Walmart and then proceeded to act like she didn't know who started the fire and then proceeded to record the fire and scream, "Everyone get out," and then left. But then Walmart got the fires fixed, which is crazy because they lost $7 million in product. And the police and them immediately after the fire and the smoke was clear, they went to looking at the camera footage and they saw everything. And she basically was the only person on the aisle. Immediately after she set the fire bursted so quickly that initially they thought it was a combustion because certain chemicals can just explode, which is that's another story. This girl, they went to the girl house, right? And her mama answered the door, which her mama probably knows she crazy because the mama was not shocked enough for me. She was just too calm. And the mama instantly said when the police came, she was like, "Wait, you looking for my daughter? Don't tell me she set the fire." And I'm like, I would have thought it was fake if it wasn't for it being body cam footage from the police. I'm like, dang, the mama know her daughter, but if you know your daughter is like that, why would you allow her in public with us? Like, I feel like when people know they got messed up people, like, why do you allow them around other people? Like, but I guess if they got to deal with it, we do too. So the police called the little girl downstairs. She ain't even a little girl. She like almost, I don't know, but she acted like a little girl in the video. So she lied at first, which is so crazy because granted, the police didn't come to her house until after they discovered everything I just told y'all. So the police are looking at her knowing that she did all of this, and they not even giving her any inkling that they know. They just asked her, "So what happened today at Walmart?" And she started telling the story. She told the truth about the story, but she skipped the part that she set the fire. So she told the truth that she set the oatmeal and the mayonnaise down when the fire happened, and that she pulled the phone out and recorded. She even showed them her recording of her doing it, but she left out the part that she was the one that set the fire. So the police, they played it so gangster the way they just let her kept talking about it. And every time they respond to her, they kept slipping in stuff like, "Yeah, so when you were on the aisle with the fire, how did they feel?" And then that's when she finally caught on that they knew. And then she just started crying and saying, "I don't remember what happened. I blacked out." and all of a sudden I was there telling people to get out and recording the video that I just showed you. Then her story changed to I was about to pull out my phone to call my mom, and then I found the lighter, and I just had to I just had to use it. And I'm like, but the crazy part about that story is that we are around people like this all of the time when we in public. We don't know who is having a urge in their head, an intrusive thought telling them to do something crazy that's gonna actually follow through with it. And that's why I feel like people have to be so vigilant in public. And I get that cell phones have a lot of stuff on there, but when I tell y'all, I see entirely too many people so deep into their phone that they don't even know what's around them. Like literally, I had just tweeted that the other day. I don't know if I said it on here. They had a dude who got out his car and was walking through a parking lot, and he was so deep into his phone, he walked into my car. He walked into my car and then looked at me like if I hadn't hit him or something. And we just looking at each other like that Diddy and that dude with the singing, whatever that show was Diddy was on, where him and the dude was staring off at each other. That's how we was looking at each other, because it's like you just bumped into my car, which I didn't care about that because it's a person versus a car. You know, my car won, but we just have too many people that's unaware. Like even when I'm going places at night, I get so upset when I look and see women just walking down looking in their phone. Like one day I was leaving the gym, it was like 4, 5 in the morning. This lady crossing the street, walking towards the gym from her car with her head down in the phone. And I'm like, bro, thankfully for me, I'm an angel, of course, sometimes. But the world we live in, as unsafe as it is, and all these different threats that everyone is worried about, I don't think that that's an option that we have, regardless of gender. But at nighttime, like that's so people is just so careless. That's why I be scared to go to the movie. I sit all the way in the back. Me too, yo yo. So far, you can't even see me. I be sitting in the VIP seats because I got the VIP certification. So, which I call handicap VIP. So yeah, I have VIP parking and VIP seats at the movies. So for me, I mean, if something gonna go down, it's gonna go down. I don't even be caring about that. However, I do pay attention to the environment. And me paying attention to the environment shows me how much people don't. And it's like, I think it's from me growing up in an area that wasn't as safe growing up as a kid. So it's natural for me to pay attention to my surroundings because I know what happens when you don't. But even if a person grew up in Beverly Hills, I feel like if you're in public, regardless of a safety thing, you should be aware of your surroundings. That should be a natural human instinct. I think people just so pampered now. It's like not even now, because that's an old thing to keep saying now. Everything we feel now, the other generation felt it about us, and so on and so forth. But people just dangerous nowadays. Even with driving, I be seeing people swerving, and a decade ago that would have meant that they was drunk driving. But nowadays, people can be swerving and they actually texting, and not to mention a lot of the people who drive bad, they already have wreck damage, and it's like, so you just want to total the car out all the way? You already got the trunk dented in, which is crazy, and then the hood on the front is tilted to the side. You got the side swipe on the left side, like if you was in a police chase, and it's like you still driving crazy. That's why between 18 wheelers and wrecked vehicles, whenever I see them on the road, when I tell y'all I find the nearest exit, like if either I gotta speed up or if I gotta substantially slow down or do something, I do not get anywhere near wrecked cars because you could easily be the next one that they do it to. And I find that, so you're right. That should be a natural instinct. It should. And that's one of the things that a lot of us don't have these days, is a lot of these natural things that we thinking are natural and that is normal for us to have or to know is not. Like they then made common sense extinct. Like I don't even think that should be a word anymore. Like I'm gonna make a change.org petition for us to remove common sense from vocabulary, because what sense is common? The only sense that's common is probably a penny or a nickel because there's a lot of those in production. But Common sense in people? No. That's the whole reason that society is the way it is, because the more ignorant people are and the more divided they are, it's easy to manipulate them. Like, it alarms me how easy people are manipulated by just anything. Or like how these celebrities pull at their heartstrings to where a person could have an eviction notice on their door, but if their favorite celebrity come out with something, they so tied to them, they gonna spend that money that they could have used for one night at the La Quinta to buy something, thinking, "Oh, I'm already going through a lot. Might as well buy something," only for it to not even make them feel better. Not to mention, depending on which celebrity it is, the shipping might be late, and you might not even get that product until after you found your new apartment. So it's 95 minutes. I'm really proud though. Like y'all, I see the watch number has been consistently having people. That's crazy. Are any of y'all off today? You right. Oh, right. Are any of y'all off today, or are y'all do y'all have to work every day like I do? Let's see, right. 5:11. But that's enough, y'all. I usually try to get off at like an even time, but it's whatever the day. I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. I definitely appreciate hanging out with y'all. I hope your fur baby feels better, Simply Sunshine. That's all. I'm always nervous when pets get sick. Stay at home mom here. I know that's right. I'm at work now. At least I think you're very entertaining. Thank you, Real Life Simulations. I really, from me living with myself for 34 years, I don't really see it, but I do appreciate when people acknowledge it. But for me, I don't know. It's personality mixed with trauma, mixed with poor genetic material that's been passed down from family members, and also mixed with the cost of living. So thank you, and I will definitely, like I told y'all, see y'all in y'all comments, not my comments, because when I'm not doing this, I'm actively looking for my people, y'all shorts, y'all content videos, y'all posts, all of that, because I don't know if y'all have the same issue, but for whatever reason, YouTube has my pages mixed up with the people I subscribe and people I don't subscribe, which I think that that's very tiresome. Because if I wanted to see an explore page, I would go to the explore page. They be having people that I don't follow on my subscription page. So it takes me a while longer to see the stuff that y'all post too, though. So thank y'all so much. Same time, same place tomorrow, right? I hope so. I really shouldn't be late because I have the phone in my hand, so that would be very. If I'm late tomorrow, that means I've been kidnapped, and it is AI on this live, and that's not me. So y'all have a great day. Happy Monday. Stay motivated, and if y'all have enough time, y'all could start from the beginning of the video and then just stop to wherever y'all came in at to just catch up on what y'all missed. And y'all have a great day. As you can see, I keep talking because I don't want to leave y'all. I feel like Miss Sealy and her sister when they was doing the hand clapping and talking in whatever language they was talking in. Y'all have a great day. Thank you. You too, Yo Yo. Happy Monday, y'all.